Welcome to ToolTester. Today we're going to be doing a comparison between the Stanley Fatmax tape measure and the new Milwaukee 25-foot tape measure. Let's get into it. Over the past 3 months I've been testing out both these tape measures and they both held up very well. Both are extremely easy to read with great measuring scales, but there are definitely some differences in the features that both these tape measures offer. So let's talk about some of those. So durability. They both stood up well. They both took the worksite abuse quite well. But overall I just found the Milwaukee feels definitely beefier and stronger, like it will last longer. It has a 5-point reinforced case, so I'm not afraid to drop it and be rough on it. Next, let's talk about standout. That's how far you can extend the tape measure without it snapping over. The Fatmax boasts an impressive 10 to 11 foot standout, whereas with the Milwaukee I was able to get about 9 feet. Both are very respectable, but the Fatmax wins in this category. Next, let's talk about spring. This is one area that I really found the Fatmax fell short in. I'm going to extend each tape measure to 16 inches and show you how it springs back. With the Fatmax it's extremely slow and definitely was not that impressed with that. Whereas with Milwaukee it snaps back no problem every time. This means that when I have the Fatmax out at 8 feet, let's say, I have to manually feed it back in, which is really annoying, whereas the Milwaukee will snap back just as I showed you. Next, let's talk about the hook. The Fatmax boasts a pretty traditional hook on the end, whereas the Milwaukee has a nice, wider, newly designed hook, which I really like. Both of them will easily hook onto wood when doing the traditional method. However, if you want to hook onto the side of something, the Fatmax easily slips off. Sometimes you can get it to grip, but a lot of time it slips and is just not as good as the wider Milwaukee hook. Here I can easily hook the Milwaukee on and extend it and get my measurement. So I was definitely impressed with that subtle feature by Milwaukee. Next, let's talk about the belt hook. The Fatmax has more of a traditional belt hook, which works fine and is good, whereas Milwaukee tried some new territory and they have a wire belt hook. This took a little bit of getting used to wear it in, but once I wore it in and it wasn't as tight, it was definitely a nice feature and just worked a little bit better than the traditional belt hook. One other thing to note is the locking mechanism. When you have a tape out and you want to lock it, that's an important feature. So with the Fatmax, I find it a little bit difficult to lock. Sometimes I need 2 hands to clamp it down and lock it. But with the Milwaukee, it's really nice, one-handed, very smooth slide on the locking mechanism. So definitely impressed again with the Milwaukee. Lastly, let's talk about cost. The Fatmax is $20 at Home Depot, whereas the Milwaukee is only $10 on HomeDepot.com. So I'm definitely impressed by the Milwaukee with its cheaper price and all the additional features it has. So I definitely recommend to you the Milwaukee tape measure. It's durable and it definitely has a wide variety of features that are very useful on the job site. Thank you for watching ToolTester. I'm Caleb, and feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.